Asuka, the energetic and strong mother. Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's revenge. My name is Kotomi. I live with my husband, Yuma. He has a younger brother that works at a famous corporation. He's married to another woman who works in his workplace, but they are both pretty terrible people. Yuma and his wife are always making fun of us for being poor, right?
Yeah, he'd always had kind of a rotten personality. But to make things worse, his wife is also rotten. They make a good match. I just don't tell them about our updates because it's going to fuel the mockery fire.
They have had a 2.5-year-old daughter named Mammy, but they never asked my mother-in-law to interact with her. They always ask the wife's parents that live 3 hours away by bullet train to come help. Talk about a rotten personality. I mean, they probably want to brag about being rich, but maybe they should just stop being stubborn and spending money and start saving money. However, because of that, we've been dealing with our own mother-in-law very much as a result. However, one day, the wife's mother-in-law had herniated a disc and ended up in the hospital. No one was around to look after her anymore. During the weekdays, they hire a babysitter, but suddenly, last Saturday, the couple showed up, openly mocking us. We're going to Hawaii with just us, so here you go. And asking us to babysit. We never agreed to this, but they were saying, do not let mother-in-law take her. Also, don't let her eat this, and get her in the bath by 6 p.m. For some reason, she started telling me exactly what to do.
If you hang around our child, you'll probably get a heightened sense of what it feels like to be a mom and get pregnant real quick.
He said, acting like a smartass. I was just about to complain when they left, leaving the child. So I, of course, called my mother-in-law immediately and had her look after the child. Mammy-chan, it's your grandma, Glammy. She showed up to our house happily and took the child back to her place. That was 6 long days ago. Why did they think I wouldn't let my mother-in-law take her?
Yeah, they're coming home tomorrow, right? I'm excited to see their faces.
It's your fault too, Yuma. You told them that we work from home, right?
Sorry. They hate having our parents look after their child, so I figured they wouldn't come to our house. I let my guard down.
Yuma had told them that I worked from home, and they must have thought, hey, this is an easy way out for us. Why do they not like your mom anyway? I don't know what happened, because they got married before me.
Well, it's really silly, but it was just who was going to get invited to the wedding. Honestly, both of them are at fault with each other.
That's it?
They both slowly started inviting more people without asking, and then there were people who couldn't sit at the day of the wedding. It turned into this who's gonna leave situation.
Apparently, they stopped seeing each other after that. Seriously stupid.
But my brother apparently asks my mom to look after Mimi when his wife is away on business trips or something.
That's why Mammy was so okay with her today.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
The next day, the two came over to my house while my husband was still out. They didn't have a single souvenir, by the way.
Mimi is at your mother's house.
Why? I'm going to sue you.
How rude!
You literally do the same thing without telling your wife. Look, I never said okay to watching your child. You just showed up and left without consent. You basically do nothing from home, right? Work from home jobs are trash anyway. That's not the attitude you should have when you ask a favor from someone anyway. You tell me what to do with no please. You realize that you only packed like a single day's worth of clothes. You didn't leave any money to look after the child either. You don't have any kids, so I taught you valuable knowledge. Yeah, I have no kids, so I have no idea how to look after a child that age. So I figured I'd let our mother-in-law, who is very knowledgeable in raising kids, take her. That's so rude. That's why you can't trust poor people. Hey, I could have just reported you to the authorities because you abandoned your child. You understand that, right? I was going to pay you, depending on the state of the child. I'm going to sue you. I just snapped after that. What? You want to try suing me then? And what do you mean you're going to pay me after you saw the condition of your child? We're not some daycare for your daughter. They were too afraid to deal with me and fell silent. You didn't call once during the week to check on your daughter. You're gonna make me laugh. Then I turned to my brother-in-law and said, I don't know if you're afraid of your hysterical wife or what, but when your wife is away on business trips, you let your mom take care of your daughter. Don't act like I'm the crazy one. Mammy-chan seems to be doing great, so pick her up and get the hell out of my house. Don't ever come back. I chased them off. I was hoping they would stop after this. They apparently went to pick them up immediately, but I don't like you, Mommy. I'm going to stay with Daddy. She refused to go with them. Apparently, the mom would get hysterical quickly and scolded her child pretty bad. She wanted to stay with my kind mother-in-law. When she tried to bring back her daughter, don't be ridiculous. We're going home. What's going on? Why would you say that to your own 2-year-old daughter? My mother-in-law stopped her, and then there was a fight between the two. Of course, my brother-in-law took his mom's side.
I'm too tired from this. Let's just let her look after kid and come back tomorrow.
What the hell? The hysterical woman got heated and tried to attack my mother-in-law. She dodged her attack, and so the wife fell onto the steps and broke her arm. That's what I heard from my mother-in-law. However, this afternoon, my brother-in-law's wife's father called me.
You do realize none of this would have happened if you didn't give the child to your mother-in-law, right? How about taking responsibility, huh?
What? Are you saying that after hearing what happened, if you are, you're a little insane? You and your daughter both. As soon as I said that, the relatively calm father said,
What are you talking about? She said that you didn't have kids, so you asked to take care of the child. It turned out that you couldn't handle a child, so you asked your mother-in-law to take her.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't believe your pathological lying daughter before you rage call us, huh?
I'll go talk to her.
He hung up the phone. So stupid. Afterwards, when my husband came home, I got a call from my mother-in-law. Hey, I want to talk to you. Can you come over? My mother-in-law often invited us to eat, so I was actually just thinking I was too lazy to get food ready, so let's go, huh? We both headed to her house, but noticed that my brother-in-law and his wife, along with her parents, were there. The person who's responsible for this should apologize before we eat. I gotta get all mad again. I'm tired of this. Then my husband, Yuma, said,
You know, a lot has happened, but you realize that my wife works at home, right? She's working, and you leave your child to look after her? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, Yuma, you tell her.
You didn't ask us at all about what our plans are, and you just showed up to look after your daughter. You had 1 day worth of a change of clothes without any money to look after her. You're insane.
I also asked you about if you were free or not. You said you'd be happy to take the child. You didn't want money, you were just happy to hang around Mammy. I didn't think it was right to give the child to you, but I felt bad because you don't have kids. Then you just randomly gave the child to your mom? I feel so bad for Mammy. Apologize.
No. My wife would never agree to take the child. I don't know what you guys think. I don't care where you work, but my wife is a super popular designer and has many deadlines this month. She has no time to be playing with a child. She barely has time to cook at all, let alone take babysit. She makes 5 times the amount of money I do. We were going to give you your child back, but you ran away to Hawaii. We don't know how to contact your parents. What else were we supposed to do? Thinking about Mimi's well-being, we have no choice, right?
Yuma, you badass!
Mom was able to look after Mimi for a week, so who cares? All's well that ends well.
That's true. I think it was smart for Kotomi-san to reach out to me.
You want to quit your work, but you can't because of your loan? Your wife doesn't like Mom? I don't care about that. You've made these choices all on your own. Yeah, don't make us take responsibility for your poor decisions.
Man, her lying problem is pretty bad though. Huh. She was trembling from rage and turned a bright red. I'm going to sue you. You can sue me all you'd like, but I have all the interactions between what happened when you dropped off Mammy on the camera facing our entrance. We don't want any burglars, so we've got a lot of cameras set up.
Go ahead, sue me. By the way, I've checked the cameras. It's all there.
I think you'll lose, though. Go ahead. This is exciting. Let's go home, Yuma.
Yeah, it's late. Let's go by a restaurant. And don't talk to us ever again. No contact whatsoever. Got it?
Yeah. If this happens again, we're going to call the authorities on you. They looked pale before we left. Thank you for protecting me, Yuma.
You did wonderful too, Kotomi.
Afterwards, they had found out about the wife's lie, and she was scolded into oblivion by her own parents.
You should have just asked the mother-in-law to begin with!
Because she had the broken arm, my mother-in-law would look after Mammy for a while. I love you, Grammy. I hate Mommy. I am so worried for your child. Apparently, my mother-in-law is rubbing it in her face. But thinking about Mammy-chan, this is probably better overall.
Yeah, I think so. My name is Fubuki. I'm 27 and I work at a fairly large and famous company. Wow, this is incredible! You secured a deal from that company? I'm surprised. Yes, sir. I got married, so I'm going to work harder than before to make sure I earn my position. That's the spirit, Chief. We're counting on you. I was married 3 months ago. I love my wife Lena very much. We're still freshly married with no kids, but I really hope this continues for a while. I'm heading out.
Have a great day, sweetie.
If you want to go out with your friends or something, you can take it out of the joint bank account. Don't worry.
Thank you, Fubuki. I love you.
I was okay as long as Lena was happy. I always thought about her. But, oh, no. You done goofed. Lena cheated on me. It was only 6 months after we had married. I found out from some photos she had hidden away in her dresser. She looks happy. My wife in the photo looked really happy with some man I'd never seen before. Some of them, they were even kissing. It was from last week and it said, 2-week anniversary. That night, I checked her phone just to make sure, but there was proof all over the place. Ah, I see. She loves him, not me. Sorry, Lena. How could I not have known for 2 months? I only cared about her happiness, so I decided to back off. Of course I would. I love her. I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was someone else you loved more than me. You really love him, right?
No, that's...
It's okay. I want you to be happy.
No! It was just a little mistake.
Lena was probably trying to fix things with me because she cared about me. But I didn't want her to care about my feelings before hers. So I said, "It's okay. I know that you love this man in the photos."
No, listen to me. I only love you. This man only flirted with me in the city, and he's just been dragging it on for 2 months.
I see. So you fell for him immediately, huh? That must have been destiny.
No, listen to me. I was just...
I know you're just trying to be kind and not trying to hurt my feelings. It's okay. I accept it. I didn't want to hurt my dearest and cherished wife, so I didn't ask for damages. I also shared my assets with her. I can't believe it. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't give most of the money to her because we had spent our joint savings on things around the house, and we weren't married for too long. I'm sorry, Lena.
Fubuki, listen! I don't want to break up. Listen!
No, I want you to be happy with the person you love. That makes me happy.
No, it's really...
I'm gonna be rooting for you. I want you to smile like you are in these photos.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I don't need to forgive anything. I'm not mad. I'm seriously cheering for you. I want to meet him to tell him to take good care of you. Can you let him know? I wanted him to be happy, so I went to meet the man in the photos. I asked him to marry and live with her. She really loves you. If you're gonna be around her, then I won't ask for a penny. Of course, I didn't sue him either. Okay. I'm sorry. Hey, make her happy, huh? If you two break up, you're going to regret it. Okay. We were divorced and Lena lives in a small efficiency with her boyfriend. As long as she lives happily with the person she loves, I can be happy too. Lena still messages me sometimes, and I still see her at lunch sometimes. With his permission, of course. Lena was probably trying to care about me, complaining about the guy in the photos.
He won't work, so we can't really live. We've just got loans after loans. You worked at a great company, so life was just so much.
I'm sure you'll be smiling again real soon. You'll find a great company to work at.
I don't want to live in a small efficiency like that.
You can always be around him. You must be so happy.
And he loses it when he gets drunk.
He's just passionate. He stole you from me. You two love each other. You should work together, you know?
Fubuki, I want to break up with him.
Why? You looked so happy. You promised you wouldn't break up, though. I'm cheering for you. Anyway, you guys love each other so much. You'll figure it out. I'm cheering for you.
I love you.
You can't lie like that. You don't need to worry about me. Come on, remember this adorable smile you had? But maybe you're worried about me because I'm still single and alone, huh? I had a friend that I had got along with at work. Her name was Akina, and we were the same age. She was incredibly beautiful and a great cook.
Nice to meet you. I'm able to be so positive when I'm around you. You bring me up.
Would you like to go out with me then? I started dating Miss Akina and started turning down the lunch invitations from Lena because it would be rude to Akina.
Fubuki, I need to talk to you.
No, I was thinking about it, you know. If I keep wandering around you, you and your partner won't be able to find the true meaning of happiness. So don't contact me anymore. She would still call and text me a few times during the month, but I just ignored them. Because I want her to be happy. I think she still lives happily ever after with that man in the photos. Sometimes I would see someone that looked like her around the house and stalking me, so I called the police just in case. A month later, I proposed to my wife at a hotel with a beautiful night view. Please marry me.
Yes!
I needed to move on to the next step after engagement, so I stepped up my game at work as well. I gotta be happy now. 2 months later, we moved out to a bigger house to live together. We were getting things ready for the move, but...
Fubuki, there's someone standing in front of the house.
Oh, that's my ex-wife.
Oh, that wife that cheated on you. She looks ragged. Is she trying to get back with you?
No way. She loves another man, so she wouldn't do that.
I see. Okay.
Just leave her alone. We're going to be moving overseas in a couple of days. I was offered a position overseas, so by next week, we were all going to move. It was hectic, but everything was ready for the move.
But you really loved her, right?
I can only focus on one person at a time. I only think about you right now, Akina. I don't care about what happens to some other woman.
I'm Kotomi. This is my husband, Tomoki. When my son was in high school and my daughter was in middle school, he cheated on me. He said to me,
I'm in love. She's the one for me.
I didn't even know what to tell him. He was older than me. At the time, he was 47. He was a really trustworthy person. He had a drink every now and then, but never caused trouble. And he never gambled. He was a really good husband. I thought I knew him. But then, after he told me he was in love, he changed. He stopped going to work, and he started spending a lot of money on this new girl. What happened to you? Come back to me. I was really hurt. I couldn't believe this was happening to me. I wanted things to go back to the way they were, but... And the kids started to notice. And when they confronted him about it, he said to them,
I haven't done anything wrong.
He didn't even try to hide it. A few days later, we decided to have a big family meeting. Both of our parents came. But even then, Tomoki kept saying,
I'm in love. I want to live. I want to be free.
I was so embarrassed. Both of our parents were speechless.
Just leave him. Yeah, Mom, forget him. He doesn't even come home these days.
Maybe they were right. But for some reason, I couldn't make up my mind. I don't want a divorce. I kept saying to them, it wasn't that I still had feelings for him. It was quite the opposite. I wanted to make this difficult for him. I felt betrayed, and I wanted him to pay. Then, a few days later, Tomoki brought his girlfriend to the house to try to convince me.
Please divorce him.
They started begging me, literally.
I'll pay you in full, please.
It was pathetic. I don't know. I kept saying no. They really frustrated me. His girlfriend finally snapped and yelled at me.
What gives you the right to stand in our way?
We're in love. Just let us be together.
I don't know what to do anymore. I'm not getting a divorce. But they didn't give up.
We're gonna get married no matter what. She's the one for me.
I love you, Tomoki.
They kept coming over to the house trying to convince me. They offered to pay me more and more every time. But then one day, I noticed something. His girlfriend was acting a bit strange. She seems different today. She barely said anything that day. What's going on? I didn't say anything, though. After they went home, I looked over their offer. This is a lot of money. It was way higher than the average. Then it hit me. She was starting to get worried about the money. I see. She doesn't want to pay this much money. It was starting to make sense now. And his girlfriend, I think she was starting to lose her feelings for him. She might love him, but she doesn't think he's worth this much. That's when I decided to put a stop to all of this. It was time to move on. I'm done. I knew exactly what I had to do now. It's such a weight off my shoulders. I told my kids that I was ready to move on. I'm gonna divorce him. Sorry about that, guys. To which they said,
Finally. Thank goodness.
I'm happy for you, Mom.
Thanks, guys. It's time for me to move on. So, I called Tomoki and my parents over for a meeting. I accept your offer, but you have to pay me in full. I said to him, it was a ridiculous amount of money, but I told him I was ready to put this thing to bed. So, we got a deal? I had to raise 2 kids on my own from now on. so I could use the money. I called Tomoki's mother and told her the same thing. All right, now all we have to do is hand in the divorce papers. But then, his girlfriend ran off. I knew it. She quit her job, packed up all her stuff, and ran off one night. Needless to say, she didn't pay a dime. I knew it. It was way too much money for a divorce settlement. She realized that Tomoki wasn't worth that much money. She was right about that. He's not worth anything, if you ask me. Then, why did I spend so much energy on this? I should have left him months ago. I'm such an idiot. He already signed the papers, so I signed my name and got all the necessary documents. Then I ran to the city office and handed in the papers. Hurry, before he changes his mind. The paperwork went through without a problem. Finally, we were divorced. That night, Tomoki tried to come home as if nothing had happened.
Who the hell are you?
We don't have a father. Please leave.
You should have seen the look on his face when they said that to him.
I'm sorry.
He called me after that and said,
I'm not paying you a dime.
He snapped at me. Well, you don't really have a choice. If you're not gonna pay, I'm gonna call your parents. So I did, and they convinced him to pay me in full.
We'll make sure he pays you in full. Don't worry.
A few weeks later, he paid me in full. It was a lot of money. Woo! I win. Tomoki went back to live with his parents, but his parents kicked him out of the house in less than a month. He tried to get back with his girlfriend, but she was already with another guy when he found her. He texted me, begging me to take him back, but I ignored him. It's time to move, and I need to get a new number. Tomoki texted me non-stop.
Let's start over.
Seriously? I don't think so. There was no chance in hell. He just doesn't give up. Ugh. A few months later, the kids and I moved into our new house. Glad that's over with. I was so relieved. It was such a weight off my shoulders. I'm just glad he's out of my life, and glad everything worked out.
I'm Aska. When I got married to my husband Ryota, his parents said to us,
You'll be living here from now on.
he owned this old house, and he told us to live there. He was planning to give this place to Ryota's sister, Kotomi, but
This place is too old. I don't want it. Give it to Ryota.
she said to him.
Someone has to live there.
So they came to us.
Well, it is close to the station.
Yeah, and the rent is free, so
Yeah, let's stay here until we have enough money saved up for our own place.
So we decided to move in. His parents weren't that interested in us to begin with, so they rarely came over, which was kinda nice.
You can do anything you want with the house.
My mother-in-law said to us.
All right, let's renovate this place then. I've always wanted to try something like this.
We decided to renovate the place on our own. We got all the materials ourselves and did everything on our own. It was kind of fun. I painted the wood white. Cute, right?
Looking good.
Let's paint everything white. I bet it'll look really good.
All right.
About 2 months later, the house was as good as new. Look at this place.
We did it.
We loved our new home. But then, about 4 months later,
Wow, this place is all nice now. I want to live here. Thanks, guys.
my sister-in-law came over and said that she wanted to live here.
Huh? You had your chance. This is our place now.
Yeah.
But Dad was planning to give this place to us. Hand it over.
Yeah, he came to us first. Get out!
What? You guys turned it down. We did this for us, not you two. Get the hell out.
Yeah, what's wrong with them? But my father-in-law sided with Kotomi.
I was planning to give the house to them anyways, so you'll have to leave.
That's not fair. We were pissed.
This is bullshit. You know how much money we spent on that place?
We were furious. We didn't know what to do. I hated seeing my husband like this.
I know. Let's undo all the work.
Huh?
We're gonna turn the house back the way it was.
Oh, okay. We took everything down and took all the materials with us to our new home.
Let's go, Asuka.
All right, let's get out of here. We moved out of town. We didn't tell them where we were going. Then, a few days later, Kotomi started texting Ryota.
What the hell happened? This place is a dump again!
Screw you.
What happened to that nice wallpaper?
We took it with us. Buy your own.
There are holes in the door screen! What the hell?
Fix it yourself.
Ryota told her to screw off. But then, she started calling me.
What the hell did you guys do? Turn it back to the way it was!
It is. That's how it was when we got the house. You really thought we'd leave all that nice stuff there for you? What's wrong with you? At least the house is clean. You know how long it took us to clean that place? You should be thanking us.
Screw you! This is our house!
Ugh, shut up! Stop calling me! Then I hung up the phone and blocked her number. A few months later, Ryota's parents called him. Kotomi was still living in that old house with her husband.
Forget them, right?
Yeah. Why did we do this? Well, it was partially because they took the house away from us, but that wasn't all. Ever since Ryota was a kid,
You're her big brother! Give it to her!
You're her big brother. Let her have it.
his parents were always playing favorites. We were getting pretty sick and tired of it, so we decided to cut all ties with them. A few days later, his dad called.
How dare you! You're out of the family! You're not getting a dime out of my inheritance!
His dad yelled at him.
I don't care about your inheritance. Get out of my life.
You're gonna regret this! You sure you want to play it like this?
Absolutely. Don't ever call me again.
Then he hung up the phone. My husband put himself through college, and we paid for the wedding out of our own pockets. But when Kotomi got married, his parents paid for half of it. And not only that.
You pay the other half. You're her big brother.
Yes, what's wrong with you?
They were unbelievable. But they've always been like this to him. Did they think he was made out of money or something?
Nice necklace. Can I have it?
And this one time, his sister asked me if she could have my necklace. No. Why would I give it to you? I said no, but then...
Huh? Why not?
She thought everything was hers. It was really annoying.
She's used to taking stuff from me, so that's why she's like that. Screw them. They don't have that much inheritance anyway. You don't have to deal with them anymore. I'm through with them.
So we cut all ties with them and moved out. 3 years later, we finally got our own house.
We finally did it!
Yay! Great job!
I love you so much.
Love you too. And hey, guess what? I'm pregnant!
What? Awesome! That's great news! Come here.
Then, a few days later, Ryota got a call from his cousin.
Did you hear? Kotomi and her husband are out of control. They're spending money like crazy. You know that old house you used to live in? They had to sell that place off. They all live together now.
Kotomi couldn't leech off Ryota anymore, so she went after her parents' money. And now, they were all broke.
They'll probably have to sell their house soon.
Sucks for them, but... oh well, not our problem.
Yeah, screw them. I got my own family now. Come here, babe.
I'm Aska. I'm 22. I was fresh out of college. I lived with my parents, my brother Fubuki, and his wife, Mari. My brother got married about 6 months ago. He was 25. His wife was the same age as me. She was a housewife. We're the same age and all, but I don't really get along with her. But I work during the day, so I didn't have to see her that often. Both of my parents worked too, so during the day, Mari was alone at the house. Mom and I helped her from time to time. But she did most of the things around the house for us. For that, I was grateful. One day, where's my jelly? I had this jelly in the fridge, but it was gone. I asked if anyone knew anything about it.
I ate it.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I should have written my name on it. After that, I started writing my name on stuff I didn't want others to take. But the next evening, what? Did she eat it again? Hey, I wrote my name on it. Please be more careful from now on.
Oh.
It was the second time in a row, so I raised my voice at her. But my mom just said,
Oh, Aska, relax. It's only yogurt.
She told me to relax, but I was really frustrated. The next day, when I was telling my colleague about this,
Why don't you get your own fridge then?
ooh, good idea. So on my way home, I bought a mini fridge and a piece of my favorite cake.
Seriously? You worry too much.
I'm tired of her stealing my food. This is the only way. I put the fridge in my room and the cake inside before going to bed. That night, I headed downstairs to go to the bathroom. The light in the kitchen was still on. Maybe Mom is still up. But it wasn't Mom. It was Mari. She was eating something with her hands. Wait, is that? It was the box of cake I threw out earlier. She was scooping up the whipped cream on the side of the box. Creepy. It was like a clip out of a horror movie. And I hated horror movies. I ran back to my room and went to sleep. The next morning, Mari was acting normal. Maybe it was just a dream. I decided to let it go. I put one of the jelly into my mini fridge and headed out to work. It was probably a bad dream. I probably felt bad for eating cake all by myself. I know, I'll get some for everyone today. So I got everyone some cake and headed home. Everyone loved it. But then, when I came out of the showers, it's gone. The jelly in my mini fridge was gone. Not this again. I should talk to her. I decided to go talk to her. But then, when I opened the door, she was standing right in front of my door. I nearly pissed my pants.
Aska, I'm sorry. I ate your jelly.
I'm scared. What should I do? Okay. It's fine. I was terrified. I said it was fine and closed the door. What was that about? After that, I stopped buying sweets to take home. I also stopped using the mini fridge. A few months later, I went on vacation to Germany with a friend. I got some delicious sweets as souvenirs. I got Mari this big box of sweets. I better keep my stuff in my fridge. Mari might try to steal it again. So I got some chains and some padlocks and wrapped it around my mini fridge before heading out to work the next day. I'm home!
Aska, you should go take a look.
When I got home, Mom came up to me looking worried. She was pointing toward my room. So I went to my room and opened the door. It was Mari again. She was crying in front of my fridge.
Sweets, sweets.
Mari? What are you doing? But I don't think she could hear me. She just kept crying. I texted my brother immediately.
What do you mean?
She's acting all weird. But he was still at work. There wasn't much he could do.
I'll call her mother.
Her mother lived about 30 minutes away, so my mom called her and told her to come over. Mari kept crying in front of my fridge while we waited.
I'm so sorry about this.
Then, when her mom got here, Mari started shaking.
I'm sorry. Stop this right now! Why are you doing this?
Her mother scolded her.
There. Let's all take a deep breath.
My mom told them to take a step back and breathe. Then Mari started telling us why she was doing this.
My brother, he had allergies. He couldn't eat sweets, stuff like cake and cookies. So as a kid, I couldn't eat any of that. I've never had a birthday cake either.
And her mother, she didn't like sweets to begin with. She didn't even like fruits, so she grew up without eating any sweets.
Sweets are disgusting! They make me sick! I don't know why people like that stuff.
That's what she always said to her. So Mari thought,
Eating sweets is a bad thing.
she stayed away from that stuff as a kid. Then she married my brother and moved in with us.
Sweets are the best.
Yeah! We all love sweets, so she had some trouble adjusting.
I can't believe it.
She couldn't believe it at first. Our family loves sweets. We had cake Fridays twice a month. When it was someone's birthday, my dad baked us this huge cake. So on Mari's birthday, we baked her his special cake and...
This is incredible.
she loved it. But now, she couldn't get enough of it.
More, I want more.
So she started going through our fridge, looking for more sweets.
I want more cake. But where do you buy them? I never bought one, so I have no idea. I want to ask Aska, but we don't really talk, so... Ugh.
So that's why.
This is what you get for eating sweets. It makes you dumb. I told you.
I'm sorry.
Mari's mom yelled at her. Was she serious? I had to say something to her. Okay, I think we've heard enough. Could you please leave now? I think you're making her uncomfortable.
I'm sorry about her. It's not her fault. She should have listened to me.
Please leave. Now. Mari, here. This is for you. I gave her some of the sweets I got from my vacation.
Sorry. I knew stealing was wrong, but I couldn't control myself. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. From now on, just tell me, okay? Mom and I felt kind of bad for her after that. This was all her mother's fault. That night, we had a family meeting. We all agreed that she needed help.
You should have told me.
I'm sorry.
She was crying the entire time. All right, enough of that. Listen, this weekend I'll take you to the sweets buffet. It's an all-you-can-eat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Asuka.
Sunday, I took her to this all-you-can-eat restaurant. She started crying from joy. Then, that night, Mari said to us,
I need help. I'm gonna go see a doctor.
Is it that serious?
Do you really have to go see a doctor?
I think so. I mean, I stole from you guys. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't control myself. Something's wrong with me. I want to get help.
All right. We'll be right here if you need anything.
Then the doorbell rang. It was Mari's mother.
I'm taking my daughter back. I need to re-educate her.
Oh, it's okay. I think we got it under control.
Yeah, she's in good hands.
No, I'm taking her back. I could use another pair of hands around the house anyway, so...
She started raising her voice.
Ma'am, please lower your voice.
My brother said to her,
Get away from me! Don't touch me, pervert!
She was out of control. There must be something wrong with her. Mari wasn't safe with her. We had to keep her away from her. Mom went back to check on her. Then my brother called Mari's brother and told him what was going on. A few minutes later, he arrived and took his mom home. Finally.
I had no idea she was like that.
That was intense.
Mari was still crying in the living room.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. I hope she doesn't come back.
Yeah. I have the day off tomorrow, so I'll be with her.
If someone comes to the door, just don't answer it. Just to be safe.
Okay.
The next day, Mari's mother came by the house, just as I thought. She left a note in the mailbox. I need to re-educate my daughter. Please give her back to me. You can divorce her if you want. Ugh, she really wanted her daughter back. This lady is insane. Then she started calling our house almost every day.
Let's talk to her husband and her son.
So we called them and told them to come over to the house.
I'm so sorry about my wife. She's been like this ever since Mari left the house. She's always been a control freak, ever since Mari was a little girl. And when Mari left the house, she started losing her mind. But I had no idea about any of this. I'm so sorry.
If she's going to keep doing this, we're gonna have to move.
No need for that. This won't happen again, I promise.
Mari's father and brother apologized to us over and over again. I kind of feel bad. It's not even their fault, though. A few days later, Mari's father called my brother and said,
We're moving out of town. We're gonna go live with my parents.
Oh, I see. What about your job, though?
A relative of mine owns a factory nearby, so I'm gonna work there from now on. This is the only way to protect my daughter and her family. I should have done this a long time ago. Again, I'm really sorry about everything.
2 weeks later, Mari's parents moved out of town. A few months later, Mari's brother, who stayed behind, came to our house and updated us on his parents. He told us we had nothing to worry about anymore.
glad that's over with.
Yeah. From now on, if you want to eat sweets, just tell me, okay? Eating too much can be bad for you, so...
Okay, thank you, Aska.
At first, we didn't really get along, but now we're like best friends. We went out together almost every weekend.
Delicious!
So good! Mari was feeling much better now. Anyways, it was a rough couple of months, but glad everything worked out.
My name is Kotomi. Right around a year of being married to my husband, Yuji, I was able to get pregnant. Then, Yuji said,
We're going to be moving to my parents' place next month. I'm going to be transferring over to the branch that's closer to their house.
He gave me no choice. Really? I had no time to even think about it. We moved in with my in-laws. I moved back to his parents' house alone before he came back. And so I ended up being there alone for 3 months. I wasn't bullied or anything, but I was nervous because it was the first time I'd been pregnant. My in-laws lived in the countryside and my parents were 2 hours away from here. My dad and mom, my brother and his wife were too far to casually go visit. I was just lonely. And then, finally, Yuji started living with us. We can finally live together again. I was so sad with us being apart.
Yeah.
However, I barely had any time to be happy.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Again? He often went out every night with his local best friend.
Yuji had always gotten along really well with his best friend.
True.
My in-laws had informed me about my husband and his best friend. Apparently, he gets along really well with her, and they never tried to tell him to stop hanging out with her. Every night, I would do some chores and take a bath before I quietly read books to get ready for the child. I hope your daddy stays at home more often after you're born. I'm going to be with you forever. I was so glad to have the child with me, though. My husband would sometimes come home super late as well. Come on, you're going out literally every night. I understand if you're going out every weekend, but you're going out during the week too.
I can't hang out with my best friend if I have kids. I don't need this right now. I have a good buzz going. Don't kill it.
I knew that getting too angry wasn't good for the child, so I think I was often trying to avoid arguments entirely with my husband. Time went on before I knew it. I was 8 months pregnant. Oh, Yuji forgot his wallet. When I went to his company to deliver something he had forgotten, I found him sitting with a woman at a nearby park. He's eating a different bento than the one I made for him. What's going on? I didn't say anything to him or give him his belongings. I just went back home. Where is my bento? Something is so very off. When I got back to the house, I ran to my room and looked through the bag that he always took when he went out. There was a bunch of receipts, several of which were from the love hotels. You're cheating, huh? I figured. There's no way that made any sense. I was worried about my child, so I didn't want to get too depressed. But I couldn't talk about this to anyone. I mean, maybe Asuka-san will cheer me up. I called my brother's wife, Aska.
Kotomi-chan, what's up? How's the baby?
Asuka-san, I'm not sure, but... I told Asuka-san everything about what I had found out today. The going out every night, the receipts, and how I was worried about the baby.
I can't believe it. You're 8 months in your term, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be okay. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Ryota and his parents if they'd be okay with you coming home to have the baby.
Yeah? Thank you so much, Asuka-san. I was able to calm down after talking to Asuka-san. That night, my husband came home and immediately took off after taking a shower. Afterwards, I checked his bag and his notebook. It's definitely an affair. I found a woman's personal info and some photos, along with proof that they were being intimate with each other. The woman I saw him with at work today is his best friend, his first love, and his ex-girlfriend. Yeah, they didn't say man or woman. His parents kept saying they got along well since they were young, which means they knew that his best friend was a girl too. That night, he came home drunk as usual and snored on the couch while I checked his phone. I saw a bunch of photos that were inexcusable and transferred them onto my phone. I always thought that this was an invasion of privacy, so I left it alone, but his whole family has been playing me for a fool this whole time. The woman he was seeing is Rika. According to a long-winded message from her, they broke up once because she couldn't have kids, but being the eldest son, he had to have a child. Then, what Yuji came up with was that he would marry someone, have the child, then divorce and take the child as his own. I also learned that his parents were in on this whole plan as well. I was trembling out of anger after finding all of this out. I can't handle this. I found out everything. He's totally guilty. Help! It was the middle of the night, but I texted Asuka-san immediately. I sent her all of the screenshots from the messages and the proof of his affair.
Ugh, I cannot let this go. I'm going to go pick you up, and I'm going to take everyone with me. I'm sure you probably can't sleep, but at least lie down and close your eyes. You'll at least get some rest.
Okay.
What time does he come home usually?
Around 7 p.m., but he's out by 9 p.m.
Okay, we're going to pick you up. You make sure you pack everything important you need, okay?
I believed her and cried while lying down alone. I, of course, got no sleep. The next day, I didn't get anything from Asuka-san, but the doorbell rang around 7 p.m. My mother-in-law answered.
Kotomi-san, your parents and brother, along with his wife, are here.
She seemed a little surprised when she called me. When I went to the entrance, Dad, Mom, my brother, and Aska were all there. I honestly was about to cry out of relief.
It's been so long. What happened?
Oh, nothing. I just spoke to my sister-in-law yesterday, and she said she's been feeling a little sick recently, so I figured we'd come pick her up so she can have the baby at our house. That's fine, right?
No, she's supposed to have it here.
Yeah, you could have talked to us. Oh, it might have been a little tough for her to tell you guys since you're her husband's parents. Sorry for the sudden arrival without any notice.
My sister seems pretty tough, but she's actually pretty sensitive.
Hey, you want to do that, Kotomi? You want to have it here, right?
He looked at me angrily. I was unsure of how to answer, but...
No, we're taking her. If she comes with us, she won't be so lonely at night.
They couldn't say anything about it and sent me off. I took my belongings and headed out to the car without looking back. For 5 minutes or so after the car left the house, no one said anything. Asuka-san broke the silence.
You never have to go back.
Yeah.
I heard what was happening from Asuka-san. I hired a PI already to work the case.
I have a good lawyer too, so don't worry about it.
I started crying, and everyone was a little worried and unsure of what to do. I was at home for the first time in a while. It was so warm.
There's a lot of your favorite food here.
Thanks.
Go ahead and hang out in the kotatsu. You didn't sleep last night, right?
I was able to give birth to the child. A healthy boy. I pretend that my husband doesn't exist and continue to live at my parents' house. We did all of the traditional things without them, and right around the 5-month mark after his birth.
Hey, when are you coming home? Hurry up!
Yeah! How long are you going to be relaxing at your parents' house?
You're being spoiled! Oh, this is why I don't like women nowadays.
Okay, we'll go home once. I went back with my parents, Aska and my brother. They had invited a bunch of relatives to show off the child, and there was a large feast prepared for us. At first, everything was nice because they talked about the child, but eventually, they started taking jabs at me.
They say that women nowadays have no sense of responsibility.
Actually, there's a good reason that we came here with our whole family today.
We presented the results of the investigation from the PI.
Oh, this is...
Thankfully, for the 5 months or so that I stayed with my parents, this best friend had moved to his parents' house, and there was more than enough proof.
Do you mind explaining this before you start taking jabs at my daughter? This is the woman that he was fooling around with every night after they've been married, right?
Oh, honey, you don't have to be so mean. They can't explain after this. I mean, really, what excuse do you have?
They fell silent, and the relatives were all looking through the documents, shocked.
You are going to chase out your wife after you make her have the baby? How terrible are you?
Yuji, what's going on? Explain yourself!
You're sitting here talking about how my daughter won't go home to your nasty house? Who would want to come home to this? I don't believe it. You made your pregnant wife live with your parents while you fool around with your mistress every night? You're irredeemable. I didn't realize they were this insane. I'm so sorry, Kotomi-san. You must have been so lonely.
There was nothing left for my family to even say. His relatives were furious about this, and I didn't want my baby crying, so I moved to a different room to feed him. I could hear them yelling from the other room. One man, the brother of my father-in-law, said,
Bring the mistress now!
I could hear that clearly. Outside of that, I couldn't hear the details. The result was that my husband and the woman would both pay me everything in damages and child support.
I'm so sorry you had to deal with this when you just came by to see your grandchild. Please don't apologize. I am so sorry for everything that's been done to your daughter. Although I had no clue, I'm truly regretful of what happened.
They had already sorted out the details about money and parental rights. They were signing documents and everything.
We will contact you at a later date about the paperwork and whatnot. If my younger brother tries to pull anything, let me know right away.
Clearly, we had made a strong ally. We left the house after everything was said and done.
I thought that I was going to help out, but we didn't even need to help out. His relatives were all on our side.
I mean, can you really blame them? I could never forgive my relatives for that. The fact that it's my own relative would make it worse.
I've never seen you get that mad, though.
Me neither. Me too.
Me three.
That's how I successfully got divorced and started living with my parents. About half a year after the divorce, the angry brother of my now ex-husband's father contacted us.
No one in this family is dealing with that family anymore. They're the shame of the family. We're in the country. Everyone knows everyone. Apparently, the mistress is being scolded by everyone, and they're gonna leave the area.
Thank you so much for helping us till the end. We're going to raise the child well. According to his story, Yuji and his best friend
broke it off with each other immediately, and the woman couldn't go back to her home. Yuji is now always alone at work and in private.
If that family does anything to you, let me know right away. I'm sure there wouldn't be a wife that would want to live with that terrible family. It's not just you either. I'm not going to let them get away with it against everyone.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time!